Today on the Canadian Way, the 2018 Mazda 3 GT. Is it called the Mazda 3 because it has 3 mirrors?
Bonjour, hi. I have borrowed this Mazda 3 GT from my stepbrother. Best stepbrother ever. He's my favorite one. The Mazda 3 arrived on the Canadian market in 2004 and it was an instant hit. People love it and it was named Best Compact Car of the Year. It was new. A 2018 Mazda 3 GT like this worth $25,100. Today, they worth around 18 grand. Today, I'm gonna show you around this Mazda 3 and I'm gonna explain you why is it the best in class. Let's start the exterior of the Mazda 3 with the general styling. As you can see, the car looks very good. Some people don't like it. They think it's too aggressive or too eccentric for design, and I can understand. But for me, I think the Mazda 3 is one of the best looking in its class. I mean, it looked like a concept car. Now I want to talk about the front bumper. A normal car, the front bumper starts around here, just under the headlights. But as you can see, Mazda started here. It's a way to cut on the building price, and it's a nice way. And at the same time, it protects your hood from every rock that you can receive and start rusting. Because normally a hood, when it's stone ship here, is gonna rust pretty quickly because it's a junction. There's heat and all kind of stuff here. But with that idea, the car is pretty protected. Otherwise, Mazda have a really nice build exterior with small gaps. Seem to have correct their paint issue. We're gonna see in the future because Mazda has normally a tendency to rust. Now I want to talk about a new trend in the car industry that really don't work in Canada. Instead of having a door that translates when you open it, they put hinge and let the door turn on itself, rotate. It's a bad idea in Canada because let's say it's a day that is snowing outside. You have snow on your roof, and your broomer to take it out is in the trunk. You open the trunk, and all the snow get in there and bent your roof or bent your door over here. Same thing with ice. And then after a few years, your roof is all tilt and you got rust over there. And it's not only Mazda who does that. Now almost every entry-level car has trunk that open like that, and it's really bad. If you hear me, don't do that. The trunk is pretty easy to open. It's not electronic like almost every car we just try, so it doesn't take a lot of time. It's pretty big, but you lose a bit of space thanks to the roof line. But it's a pretty big trunk. Not much to say about. I would say that the carpet are pretty cheap though. It's not the nicest one. I would have preferred a hard floor with carpets on it. The trunk is 572 liter, and with the seats down, it's 1,334 liters. Now, sitting in the back seat of the Mazda 3, the door opens pretty wide. The roofline is a bit low, so you need to be careful, especially if you're 6 foot like me. And as you can see, I don't have a lot of space, but the seat were back up at their maximum position in the front, and they can back up so far that I'm 6 foot and I can barely put the pedal to the floor. That's how far they go. Now with the seat at my stepbrother driving position, favorite stepbrother. Now I got room. It's not the roomiest though, but I mean it's a compact car, so won't get a lot of space anyway. In the back of the Mazda 3, there's not much to do. There's no power outlet or anything. The only thing you can do, as always, is play with the electric window. The window line is a bit high, so it feels a bit close, but it's okay. For the seats, I'm pretty comfortable. The seat give a good support, and they're pretty comfortable, so I really like them. Now, getting in the front of the Mazda 3, again, the door open pretty wide, and the access is pretty easy. This time the roofline is enough high. You sit in. The seats are very good. They're very supportive, very sporty, but at the same time not too rough. It's a really, really nice seat. The steering is easy to reach. It's close to you. It's very fun. I really like the driving position. Now, the presentation of the interior is really, really good. This car is on the edge of being an high-end car, and it is really surprising at that price point. Otherwise, everything is pretty easy to have access, pretty easy to use. The steering is in that simili leather. It feels really nice, but sadly, it worn pretty quick though. That's sad. Now I want to talk about a few places that Mazda cut, but doesn't really bother you. The glove box is okay in terms of quality, but I mean, it's something that you don't use a lot. Then, over here, the plastic, it's not the best quality, but it doesn't rattle, and I mean, nobody cares, nobody touch it. The headliner too is pretty cheap, and the plastic around here is cheap. But this is all place that you don't really care as long as they don't rattle. And that car yet doesn't rattle, so we don't really care about. Another place where Mazda cut is on the seat. The seat isn't that big, look. It's a small seat, and it's a way to cut on price without bothering you, and I think it's really nice. The cup holders are okay, but I would say they are a bit in the way, and as you can see, with all the stuff glue around, they're pretty much in the way of the shifter. I would say that the armrest is too far back. If I want to put my elbow, look where I am. I'm right on the edge. It's not that cool. The center console is a bit small for the class, but it's okay. You have a power outlet in it. I think they waste a lot of space with that stuff around here. Climate control are a bit low though in the center console, but you can see them easily. I would say, like always, it doesn't have knob, it's all bottom, and we don't like that in Canada. We like to set our climate control when the car is turned off. Now let's talk about the feature in the Mazda 3. Over here, you have the heated steering wheel. That's really nice. You have heated seat, 3 level on each side. You also got the Bluetooth, like almost every new car. You got automatic headlight, adjustable wiper, cruise control. So let's talk about the infotainment system. Right now the car is not going, so it's fully touchscreen. So I got different options, radio, phone, navigation, parameter, and application, where you can see the general consumption, gas consumption from the car, etc, etc. Another thing I don't like is the way it works with the touchscreen. Look, I go in the radio here and I'm like, okay, I want to go back, so I press on that. No, that's to play with the sound. So I go here. No, this is to change of channel. To change of channel again. If you want to go back to the main menu, you need to press here, and it's not really intuitive. And when you're driving, I think it's not the best too. You use the middle knob here, which is so nice to use though. But you go here. Okay, now I need to switch. Okay, I'm going here for the channel. Oh, it's not the best. It's not intuitive. Luckily, there's a button over here to go back. If I want to go back to the main menu, I press here. If I want to go in the radio, I go here. If I want to go back, I just press on that. And if I want to go in the navigation, I go here. But the car doesn't have the navigation. The car is not equipped with. The only thing I have is a compass with the latitude and the altitude and the longitude. So if you want to go somewhere, you need to ask the latitude and longitude of where you want to go and use that to find it. It's really sad, especially at that price level. Another thing that is sad, if you don't know what these symbols mean, Well, you need to read it. Oh, this is next song, this is last song, etc., etc. And a rating while you're driving is not always a good idea. Luckily, in 2019, Mazda introduced Android Auto in that infotainment system and Apple CarPlay, and it really changed the whole experience. But if you want to get it in that car, you need to take out the dash and get into the SD card behind the dash. It's a $500 job to get Apple CarPlay, or you need to get it 2019. Under the hood of the Mazda 3, you will find the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder Skyactiv from Mazda. It produces 184 horsepower, 185 foot-pound of torque, pretty healthy number. It's matched to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and you're gonna average 8.1 liter per 100 kilometers. The car uses disc brake at every wheel and has independent suspension in the front and multi-link in the back. There's a few drawbacks about the Mazda. The MAF sensor has a tendency to go out at around 140,000 kilometers, and the ABS sensor is known to go at around the same pace than that MAF. The handbrake is electronic, and I'm sorry, but in an emergency situation where you need the handbrake for, let's say, your brake hose is broken, that's useless. I mean, you're gonna lock the rear wheel on the highway? Come on, you need to stop doing that. Another issue for those gonna keep the car for more than 5 years is these twin exhaust exit. A 4-cylinder car doesn't need twin exhausts. It's just there for the look, and they're both gonna fail, and it's gonna be twice as expensive as having one to replace. Alright, so driving the Mazda 3. First thing you notice is how good the steering is. I think they inspired themselves from the Miata. The steering is really precise, give a very good feedback. It's not too soft, not too hard. An amazing steering feel. Mazda, you absolutely got it on point. Second thing you notice, right now I'm in the twisty road, and the handling is really good. Like I say, the steering is precise and everything, but the suspension worked really well. It's not too soft, not too hard. The car is sporty to drive. I really like it. Now, acceleration. I wish you can feel the shifter in the middle here when you put it in sport mode. Really good. To show you how good the shifter is, here's a little video I made about it. The car has a really good sound deadening too. It's almost on the high-end level for the sound deadening. You don't hear much of the road, you don't hear the bump. It's really, really good. Very surprising for an entry-level car. Braking, the car brakes very well, very stable. The front end doesn't collapse that much. Really, Mazda found the equilibria between sportiness and comfort. It's surprising. For everyday driving though, when the car is not in sport mode, Mazda really put the engine management in like an eco mode. The engine doesn't respond that much to the throttle input, and you really need to put your foot down hard to get the car to move at the proper speed for everyday driving. That's a bit of the drawback, but in exchange, you still have some fun because the car is really nice to drive. And you got a really good fuel economy for an engine that size. Overall, the Mazda 3 absolutely nailed the competition. The driving experience is absolutely amazing, and it's really surprising for a car of that price to drive this well. So, the 2018 Mazda 3 GT. Good looking car, best in class interior, best in class driving experience. There's only a few things that's missing to make this car a Canadian masterpiece, and it's the infotainment system and all-wheel drive. Otherwise, in 2018, this is the best car you can get in the compact segment, and it is Canadian approved.